Okay, back at it. It's actually Wednesday. I didn't do anything Monday because I forgot I had to go down to Newcastle. I had an appointment at the imaging centre. Yesterday, well, Monday night I had very bad insomnia, so I got very little sleep. So yesterday I did nothing. Today I'm not a whole lot better, but I'm going to try and get something done at least today. So. But if you're new to this channel and you've just joined in, hang around, just see what I'm up to. Yeah, and just leave a comment. Today, I think all I'm going to do today is I'm going to put that in and machine it down so it's the same height as the other one. And I'm going to cut 2 more pieces and make new cutters. As I said, it's going to be similar to that, but this V section is going to be a little bit further up and it's going to be longer. And this one, that's far, I'm actually going to bring it forward and put it at an angle. So when it cuts, it'll be more like shears. So, but I've got enough Bisalloy still there, and the mess that I haven't taken outside yet. I've got to get rid of that. I'll see how I go. I've got another doctor's appointment, but not until 4:15 this afternoon. So yeah, I might stick this in first and machine that down, get it the same height, and then I'll work on these. So let me get this set up, and I'll put you in the stand, and we'll have a play. All right, we're ready to go. We've got a bit to take off, so I'll probably just time lapse this. Enjoy some music. Let's have a look at this. That's what I didn't even count on it. I heard it starting to make a noise, but it was only welded a little tack on that bottom part. So didn't stuff anything. It did move that a little, but I managed to sort it. I should have thought of that. I should have cut that off first. Anyway, let's have a look what we've got here. I'll just go and deburr it, and I might bring it back and sit it in like that, or like that, and try and clean some of that up. That looks terrible. Just give me a minute and we'll bring you back. Alright, I did it off camera, but there we go. That looks a lot better. It's a lot neater. I skimmed there and down there to clean the welds up. Went maybe a little too deep just there, but that's okay, that'll look fine once it's sandblasted and painted. So that's coming together a little bit better. Now I'll get the biz in the saw and we'll cut off a couple pieces. Righto, let me get these into the mill to clean them up. Just take a few skims to clean it all up, and I'll bring you back when I'm ready to get serious with these. Stay tuned. Alright, I've machined these. They're just cleaned up, just a slight wetness. I think I took about 1/4 mil each side of that to clean it up, and that's about 0.4 mil each side. So I've taken less than a mil off the thickness. So what I'm going to do now is put this in the machine and do my angle for the cutting edge. Just going to make it 45 degrees, so that way the cutter, this one will, they're pretty much the same size, so this one will cut over the top like that and it'll be like 45 degrees, and this one I'm going to cut in the middle. Yeah, and just come down so it's sticking out a fair bit from the other side before it starts to cut. So I can try it then, see what happens when I try and cut pipe and wire with it. So this one's going to be a bit harder. Let me machine this one first, because this one is bugger all to it. I'll machine this one first and then I'll bring you back when I'm ready to start cutting this one. Right, I've got that one done. Nice 45 degree angle, and that'll be on the inside, so it'll be cutting up against that edge. So I've just got to make sure, remember when I drill the holes, they've got to go, the countersink's got to go on this side, not the other side. So I've just given it a bit of a linish, just leashed out the mark where the cutter overlapped because it's too wide to do with one cut. So, and that's, I've left that edge as sharp as I possibly can. But what I'm going to do when I'm about to harden them, I'll get the old ones and I'll do a test first to make sure I can get them to harden properly. So work out what I'm doing wrong and then rectify it. So now I'll get the other one and work out how I'm going to cut it, and then we'll start playing. Righto, it's done. Just let me get it out. Everything's fallen off here from the vibration. It was gnarly to do. Okay, let me zoom you back out a little bit. There we are. I'm just going to go now and just deburr it. I'm even thinking about whether I should just do those top edges there as well. That's about as good as I'm going to get there. It was touching top and bottom, but you still got that little line. So it sort of tells me that it's even though it's supposed to be 45-degree tool, I don't think it is. But that'd be more than enough to cut it. So I might just, actually before I do anything, I'll straighten this vise up. I'll dress those, I'll deburr it, and then I'll bring you back. We'll have a chat. Righto, got that done. I've filed it. Made a little bit neater than the last one. Filed that pretty sharp, and that's the one that's going to go on here. But this one will go like that. You see that? So that way when it cuts, it'll cut this way. Up here where you can see it. So if that doesn't cut it, then I'll put my dick in there. It's got to. It's got to. See, there I go again, put it the wrong way around. But I'm going to put it so it comes right back. Hang on, everything's, because I've got the screen turned around so I can see it, and everything's arse about. So that'll go right there. And this one, as you can see, is, let me put it on there. It's a little bit further forward, about 10 mil, maybe more, a bit further forward. Turn it around so you can see it. There's the old one. So it's a bit further forward, so that'll give me a bit more options to play with here. So I might be able to, I'll see how it goes when it cuts the copper. If it doesn't squash it at the same time, then I'm not going to worry too much about that. As long as it cuts it up a lot easier. So I might be able to leave that all in one position, in the can position. So that'll locate nicely. Once these are tight, let me widen you out a little bit more. There we go. Once these are tight, they can stay right where they are. It's not going to make any difference. So all I've got to do now is do this to get the 3 holes, and the same with the other one. I don't know what I've done with it. I took it off this morning. Just let me go and have a look. Where'd I put you? Where did I put you? It's going to be fun. I think that's not the one because I've cut it down, but that's the one I had on there before. I'll find it. It's just, there it is, idiot. So that went, you can see that went like that. Obviously I've trimmed it down. This one will go like that, so I'll just use those bottom holes. This is getting confusing. This way and this way. Yeah, so I'm going to have to just line it like that and then drill them. So I think I might do that tomorrow. Like I said, I've got a doctor's appointment this afternoon. We'll go in, have some lunch. It's after lunchtime already. Have some lunch, have a shower, clean myself up so I look almost human. So yeah, so we'll call it a day. I don't often stick my ugly head on here, so I'll call it a day. I don't think I'll get this up. I'll wait till tomorrow when I finish drilling and mounting these, and I'll put it all back together and we'll have another go. So anyway, stay tuned, and I'll we'll come back tomorrow and have some more fun, eh? See you then. Okay, back out again. Thursday morning. Going to get into this today. I'm hoping that I get these cutters done. I might even try and harden them, and then I want to test it if I can today. Yeah, I'm pretty keen, but I don't want to start trying to cut stuff with it until I harden the blades. So I'm going to, once I've drilled them and got them fitted, then I'll do the test with the others, because that shouldn't take much to test, and then I can harden these up and assemble it. So yeah, let's get some stuff sorted, and I'll take the cutters up to the mill, because I'm going to drill them up there. I'm not going to do them on this piece of shit behind me. It's a waste of space, so stay tuned. Got those on, just nipped up. There's a slight gap there, but I'm going to pack that out. I'd rather pack that out that way. And when it goes full stroke, as you'll see, it will cut the pipe. So that should be fine. That's moved because I haven't got the T-nut on the bottom. So what I'm going to do now is set things up so that I can just test these. So I'll put you in the stand and I'll show you what I mean, why this didn't work. And this time I think I'm going to quench it in water just to see. I'll try it that way. There's another one here somewhere that I took off it before, but I don't know what I've done with it, to be honest. I took it off yesterday morning, and for the life of me, I cannot find it. There's the T-nut. I really don't know. Oh dear. Anyway, but I've still got some there I can test, so I might do them both. I'll do one in oil, one in water. But what I'll do this time is I'll heat it up and I'll test it with one of those magnets. As soon as it's hot enough to lose its magnetism, I'll quench it. One I'll quench in there, and I'll get my oil out, do the other one in the oil. So let me pack some of this stuff away and I'll set you up and we'll see what we can do. Righto, we're ready to go. I've got that hanging in, bit of wire, and as you can see, it's magnetic. Okay, now what I'm going to do is once that's hot, just going to grab it with those straight in. I'm going to do the water first. See, that's probably a little bit longer than it needs to be. Let me just trim a good amount of that off. Of course, flying through there. Alright, I'm going to make some noise. Righto, I'll leave that in there to finish cooling off. And then we'll get the oil ready. Yeah, probably, I don't know why that, it's too hard with the way I'm set up. I can't really test it for magnetism and bugger eyes around, and so I'm just going to do it this way. That's a little bit hotter than what I made it last time, so just turn that up a little. See how that's softened the heat since I've heated it. Righto, let's start warming this. Can you see what I'm doing there? Oh yeah. I just wanted to make sure you can see the whole process, that's all. Turn the fan on. Alright. That's a turn on and get the smoke out. This is why you should always look where you know, started to melt my plug, because it was in the way. Alright, now I'll see if I can find this bloody thing that's in the bottom. I'm not about to put my hand in there. Although it's looking increasingly possible. this out of the road. Oh, that handle's hot too. Ouch. Alright. Let's retrieve that. That water's actually warmed up just from that. So it certainly looks the right colour, but it certainly sounds better, but I can still mark it. Still, look. I don't know if you can see that. That does feel better. But to be honest, I should. Oh, yeah, having trouble getting that off, so that might be okay. But that's the second time that's been done too, so I don't know if that makes a difference. It might. Now I'm going to try and fish this other bloody thing out. Oh, smoke's gone. I'll turn that noisy thing off. I can turn the air conditioner off because it's cut out. Oh, I don't like this. I don't want to have to stick my hand in that shit. See, this is where you need to plan and think ahead, not just do stupid shit like drop something in there that you can't get back out again. I don't even know where the fuck it is. Oh, that's it. Is that it? Let me bring you back when I get this out of here because I'm likely to start going mental in a second. Just hang on. Righto, I fished it out, and as you can tell, I had to stick my friggin' hand in there to get it. It doesn't feel a whole lot better than the other one, to be honest. It doesn't feel that much different at all. And where I've hit it with the file, I can feel the roughness. So, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I was assured that this Biz 80 will harden nicely in oil. But obviously I'm not getting it hot enough. So, I'm going to take a chance now and do the others. And I'm going to do them both in the oil. And I'm going to get them a lot hotter than that, somehow. So, stick with me. I'll get this done and I'll bring you back. You've already seen me do it. You don't need to see it again. So, I'll get it sorted, see if I can do it without setting fire to the workshop, and we'll have another look. Righto. And as you can see, we've actually gone backwards. It's the old adage, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or in my case, 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Have a problem with this. I made shims for this T-nut, and it's fine up this end, but when you come down to about here, it jams. So I pulled it apart. The only thing I could think of was it's not flat, it's not parallel. So sure as shit, I put it in the vise and got the verniers, and just measuring it from here to here is the best I could get verniers in there. It's 0.35 of a mil out. So for those that measure in bananas still, 0.35 is 4, 8, 12, about 14 thousandths of an inch, which is enough to be a pain in the rear end. So I'm going to cut this and then machine it so they're the same length, and I'm going to put parallel strips on here, obviously the other way around, clamp it down, and then face it, and I'm going to have to, I can't get in there to do anything else, so I'm going to have to cut it off. So once I've got all that done, I've got to cut that off, get it back up here, mount it, and then try and skim it with that. So, as I said, it doesn't rain, it just pours. And speaking of which, it looks like it's trying hard to rain today. Trying. There's my shitbox. A sticker on the window. Jim's Cream Pies. Look at that. It's hard to, I can't get my hand through this far enough to operate the zoom properly. So there we go. Anyway, I'm going to keep going here. I might record some of it. I won't record cutting that because that's going to be painful. It's not really a big drama. It's going to be able to weld it back on easy enough. That's not an issue. So let's keep moving forward, eh? Now what I'm doing is I'm going to mark B for back. Because all the little idiosyncrasies this thing has, so I'm going to make sure when I machine them, I'll do it that way and then flip it that way instead of that way. And I'll finish them all up and do it that. They're both got B on the back. I might just go put a centre pop in them so I can see it. And then when I bolt this thing down, the carriage, then I'll have both those pointing to the back. Because that thing was all machined with parallel bars and everything else, and it's out. So yeah, this machine's a piece of shit, basically. Anyway, I've got a noisy garbage truck floating around. I'll go and deburr these and I'll bring you back. Back a little. I'm expecting this one to be a 15th bigger than this one because it's quite warm, so let me zero those. I'm going to take a skim anyway just to make sure I put them in together right across the centre there. That's 75.34. $75.36. That's what I'm expecting because, as I said, it's this one's pretty warm. Because those cutters are ratchet. So I'm not keen on machining them together like this, but a light skim won't hurt it. So. Just so we can get them the same height. Just to be spot on, I mean, 0.02 is half a thousandth of an inch. For the banana people, I'll take probably 0.1 off this. pedals the same. But with this machine, you never know. I might even change those tips. I'll bring you back when I'm done. That's much better. It still took a fair bit of a back cut, and it seemed to take an even cut all the way along. So, you see, I stuffed that up because I didn't put them, they were the same way. I didn't have those to the back, those marks to the back, so that's okay. Alright, now that should be perfect. I'm going to go and have some lunch, and when I come back I'll strip all this down, cut the sides off the carriage, and then we'll get up here. I want to try and get that machine and get it done this afternoon if possible, so that way in the morning I can weld it back together and re-bolt the thing, and should be able to run it tomorrow. Run it and test it. So we'll come back out after I've had some lunch. Okay, now I've got that mounted. That's the only way I can mount it at the moment. But what I've done is I've dialed it in down here, so from there to there I think it's about 0.1, which is fine. But from here to here, it's what it is there, 0.2. Not quite as much as what I measured with the verniers, but that doesn't mean I was 100% with the verniers either. So what I'm going to do is just clean up this outside first. And then I'm going to work out how I'm going to skim down here. While it's still bolted here, I might be able to clamp it on the outside, on this corner and on that corner, and pull them down tight-ish. Because when I do this, I'm going to do very light skims. So, yeah, so I'll just play with this now, get this cleaned up, and then we'll see what I can do about this middle. What I'm going to do is just going to take a little bit more off here, 0.1 off here, and then I've come right to the edge here, so later on when I machine I can come out just past here. Just hang on a sec. As you'll see, it's just barely cleaned up here, and there's a step bigger step there. So I think what I'm probably going to do, once I get this other side done, I'm going to just touch here and skim it through. So yeah, I just hope I'll get me cutter over far enough. The only other option I thought, if I have to, because I've never ever used it, I'll take that bloody limit switch off because it hits the handle. So I might be able to come back just a little bit further. Let's see what happens. This must... No. Oh, I've got the lock on. I wonder if it's hard to move. No, it's gonna... Oh, look at that. Lovely. Oh, I think that'll... No, I think I need to come a little bit further. Just give me 2 seconds and I'll take this bloody thing off. Righto, see how we go. It gave me another 10 or so mil, but I don't know whether that's going to be enough, but it should be fine. As long as I've got room. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see that. Where my finger's pointing there, that's where the back of the piston rubs. And I think I'm going to be clear. Righto. What I'm going to do now is try and reclamp it. I'll have to put some screw jacks under, but I don't want to create any extra issues. So what I might try and do is clamp it down and then run the dial over these, because they're the same. This side's taking a little bit more, so that tends to tell me that it's warped that way, or but they're the same height now. So just got to work out how I'm going to clamp this down and stop it from moving, so I can, without flexing it, so I can keep it on top of these strips. And I want to clamp that first before I release this one. So once I've worked it out, let me work this out and I'll bring you back. Righto, I'll put the little cutter in, because I only want to do one side at a time. I don't want to have to overlap them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and I'm just going to touch it here and then bring it back and just take it 0.1 at a time. 0.1, 0.15. Just little tiny amounts, because I don't know how steady that's going to be. Let's see how we go. Put up the fastest speed we've got. Let's do it. think I'm going to call it at that. There's still just a witness here. I mean, I can afford to come down a bit more because there's still a bit of a step there. Actually, I might come down. Of course, what I've done is I've made shims for the T-nut. So I can take one of those shims out if it's too thick, like if there's too much gap. So there's two shims, there's two 10 thou shims in there, so... Sorry, not 10 thou, 0.2 I think they are. You can try and remember, I started my apprenticeship when we were changing over from imperial to metric. All of our drawings were imperial and all of our measuring equipment was imperial. I might take another 0.15 just till I get that cleaned right up in there. There's still enough there, I've still got a little slight lip there, so let's do it. Well, this side didn't have as much to come off, so, and it feels almost flat here. It's almost flush. It's about the same as that side. It's got just a slight lip there, but it's flush there. So I think that's going to do it. It's got to fix it. It's got to fix the issue. And you saw, you would have seen that it only took a sort of 0.08 off that end. And it took a lot more off the middle, so it could be a little bit bowed. Although, as I said, when I've secured it from the middle and machined this, when I've dialed that, it's been 0.03 out. So I might just take another. No, I won't. No. Leave well enough alone. Get that out of the road. Alright, let me get this out of here. I'll go down onto the bench and we'll have another talk. Alright, I've got that on and it's tight. And look at that. Looks like I've had a win. And actually, it's got just a little bit of up and down play. I could probably take one of those shims out. But I'm going to see how it goes like that. That's not too bad. It's very little sideways movement, which is what I want. I don't want it to twist that way. Look at that. I wouldn't do that before. If I tightened up with that in it, from here to go back to there and jam. So I'm thinking, judging by what happened when I was machining it, when I've welded it, like I've machined it, and everything's fine. When I welded it, it's bowed it. But that doesn't explain why it was thicker this end than that end. That's beautiful. I like that. I mean, maybe one step forward, 2 steps back, but I'd rather take those 2 steps, fix this up, and then we're ready to party. So all I've got to do now is, in the morning, I'll clean these up with the grinder, weld them back on. Yeah, and I've marked, I've put 2 little nicks, you'll see, I don't know if you can see those, little tiny nicks. That's the centre of these. So they'll go back on like that. Yeah. So, you know, a little bit of clean up. I might even try and put them in the mill and machine them. Back to back them like that. And then machine them. Might even do that, we'll see. That'll be more. I want to go inside and get this off the camera now and get it up. I like that. That makes me feel a whole lot better. Makes you feel better about having to redo it, you know, like. I know it's probably frustrating for some people. But no more than frustrating than for me. So, you know, they say you got to walk a mile in my shoes to understand what's going on. So, yeah, so that's good. I'm really happy about that. Now that's going to run nice once I grease it to it. I mean, if I lift the back up, because it'll be pushing, it grabs a little bit, but that's because there's no grease on it. And there's probably, I just need to file a few things and take a few rags off. So, and I'll chamfer those with the flap wheel before I do anything else. So that's making some sort of progress, even if it is sort of back and forth. But as I say, I'd rather rework it than have something that doesn't work. That's, you know, I mean, ultimately it's no skin off my nose, but it's an embarrassment. Be embarrassing. Like I said, Dion didn't ask me to build this, I offered. So the least I can do is give him something that works and works properly. So the big test will be whether that style cutting edge is going to work. Just it'll sit like that. I'm thinking it will. It's got to. That's going to be nice. Anyway, I'm starting to waffle. Thanks again. Oh, my camera's come loose. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, leave a comment if you want. Subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, and for those, there's a couple of people, must be haters, that come and every couple of videos, not every single one, but every couple of videos there's 1 or 2 dislikes. I mean, that's fair enough. People don't have to like my videos. I don't like them that much myself. So, yeah, but thank you for the engagement, because, you know, whether you're trying to piss me off, it was working until I was explained that even people disliking the video means they've come to watch it. That means there's engagement. So YouTube takes that all into the algorithm. Not that you know, my videos are a long way off being monetized, but they still affects the way that they show up in searches and feeds. So thank you for even those that dislike the videos. But if you do like it, drop a like. I mean, like I said, it doesn't make very much difference, but it just makes an old grumpy old man happy. I know there is a few of you there that do enjoy them, so thank you. And I'll come back out tomorrow. I'll probably do upload tomorrow's as well, so there'll be 2 videos in 2 days, but there'll probably be a little bit more video tomorrow, because once I get this all sorted, get these sides welded back on, and get it all bolted back together and function test, and I'm hoping I can put some copper through it and cut it. Let's see what happens, eh? Until then, stay safe. Peace.